Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is J Flow Triple Four. Okay, okay. So I'm being dumb. I haven't done videos like I usually like to, and so I was requested by my wife to build her a cross. Okay. Now I am not a cross maker, way maker. Um, I really ain't by no means. Now I love to do stuff like that, but because I'm always working and doing the handyman thing. Um, I haven't had the luxury to be able to do stuff like that. Now, I started doing woodwork at a very young age. I believe I had attended shop class in the 7th grade. That's where I learned to read my tape measure. That's one of my requirements is that a person, once they're hired, I don't always ask them, but it's like 1/16, 1/8, 3/16, 1/4, 5/16, 3/8, etc. And so you know whenever you're dealing with a good carpenter, because they will be able to recite those fractions or whatever you want to call them, eighths and sixteenths and whatnot. So, anyways, I like to build crosses that are different. I like to be able to give it character, and I've seen very many beautiful crosses, and by no means am I anything like that whatsoever. I cannot build crosses like other people do. Anyways, I just wanted to share. So I did this cross first time I've done in, gosh, 30 years, and it came out, to me, it came out perfect. In fact, my wife said she almost cried because it was so pretty. And I'm doing it for a good cause. There is what they call Walk to Emmaus. It's nationwide. It's a Christian-based or faith-based ministry. And so my wife is the lay director for this year. And anyway, she had the honors to do the. She was picked as the lay director, and a lay director, it consists of putting the whole thing together. And so, fortunately for me and my wife, we know plenty of people that's done the Walk to Emmaus, and it's not only a privilege, but it's an honor because people pray about it, and there's hundreds, if not thousands, of people praying every year for these events to take place. Now they're all over the world or all over the USA that I know of. And so, anyways, when my wife asked me if I could build a cross, of course, me being a procrastinator, I waited to the last minute. And so, anyway, so I built this one, and let me show you what it come out of. So it came out of a little piece like this. Now, before it looked like that, it was just plain old redwood or cedar. Anyways, it's been stained, so you can see the shine on it. And so we use these for pot holders. They put them on. We put our plants on top of them. And so, anyways, we had some extra ones, and so I cut out my cross, and basically all I did is I drew a cross on a piece of paper, used it as a template. And so don't laugh at this one because this is the one that broke, but this is what it looked like. So you can see here, I did, let me tell you how this happened, this crack. So after I was done, it was beautiful, perfect. It's not perfectly like a cross, as you can see here. You can see that it's not a perfect cross, but I make them like this because we are imperfect, and we need to remember that when God created us, He turns our messes into a message. And so, therefore, to build a perfect cross, to me, doesn't have any significance because there's a flaw in all of us. And it is only through Christ Jesus that we are made perfect. So, anyways, I made this, and as you can see, I routed the edges here. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. My wife was happy, and you know how they say it, happy wife, happy life. That is so freaking true. And so, anyways, I had some leftover pieces because these things are pretty big, and so excuse me, but I buy stuff that's way too big. And so I did this last night. It took me about an hour and a half, 2 hours to put it together. And like I said, it was absolutely gorgeous. And smart old me decided, well, you know what? I'm going to put a little signature on it. And I have these I wouldn't know what they're called, but they're letters A through Z and the numbers 0 through 1 or 1 through 10, whatever. And they're little metal, what are they called? They're made out of metal. Anyway, they're little bitty ones, and they use it to get a hammer, and you hammer it into your wood or even metal, and it puts those letters or numbers. And so I thought I was going to get a little fancy and put, my wife is in walk 76. So all I was going to do is just put the dates, which is March 14th through the 17th or something like that. And so I put it right here. Now I put a piece of what's the word I'm looking for? A rag. I put a rag on there and I flipped it around, and I kid you not, guys, within the first hit, and I didn't even hit it hard. I hit it really soft. Okay? I hit it really soft. But stupid me, you know, these things have cracks throughout the wood, and so anyways, long story short, I broke it. And so I was gonna throw it away, and I said, you know what, I can salvage it and make it better or fix it, whatever. So I went and I bought some dowels, wood dowels, drilled a hole in it and saved the sawdust. And the reason I do that is so that you know, this wood is the exact same wood that came off the original. And so whenever I fill in my cracks, you just put your sawdust in there and do a light sand and stain it. Unfortunately, it's not going to look the same. So anyways, I did another one. I did this one in an hour. And this one, I did not like the way that it turned out. But here it is. You can tell it's crooked. This part right here and this one over here, they're not aligned good. But, you know, that's kind of like the whole reason why I do them like that is because, you know, that's a little bit way too off and it's not to my pleasing. So anyways, also right here, there's these little nicks here. So whenever I use my router, there was a crack in the wood. So when I went to use the router on it, it nicked that off and left this ugly nicks in the wood. So I'm still keeping it. And so then this morning I have pieces like this left over. So I went ahead and routed this one just to check to see what the routing would look. And you know, I went and asked my wife, hey, do you like this, blah blah blah, and I let her pick out the design on the edges. And so I decided that I would make a baby cross. So basically I came up with this little pattern. The reason you see tape there is because that is the actual front and this is the back. I'm going to cover that too. And the reason I put tape on there, I used frog tape. The reason I use that is so whenever I cut my wood and or route it, it doesn't tear the edges off. For example, this has already been stained and we've already applied some polyurethane clear. And so when you go and try to cut it, it knocks off those in chunks, whether it looks like shards of glass or whatever. So when you do it like this and you make your cuts or whatnot, it'll leave a very fine, clean cut. So I just wanted to show you guys what I'm going to attempt to do now. And I just wanted to show you step by step on how I do it. So next, I have a Milwaukee jigsaw, an M12. And that's what I made all my little fancy cuts with. I bought these little bitty blades for the Milwaukee. So I'm just going to walk out here to my shed and show you guys my M12. Now, You also got to be careful on the type of blades that you buy. They have fine blades that are supposed to cut your wood. And this particular wood is a hardwood. It's not a softwood. So it's not supposed to break it easy. But when you have cracks in your wood, when you cut it, if there is a crack even about a ½ inch to the edge where you're cutting, it's going to come off. So here's my M12. This model number here is D588. Wait, hold on. That is the serial number. Okay, the part number or the catalog number is 2445-20. It's an M12. This thing works okay. It's not something that I really care for. I mean, it's okay. It does what I need to do with it. And then I have this set of router bits that I purchased, I believe, through Amazon or the wish list. Now, they're not... Okay. I'm going blind. I can't see. Oh my God. I can't see. Alright, that was dumb. Pick this up a little bit, guys. Alright, so this is a 48 piece. And I believe I paid like $50 or 40. Whatever the case, it was a cheap price, and you know what? They work pretty freaking good. So as you can see here, I have a classical bit. I have a smaller classical bit. I have a chamfer. I mean, it's got all kinds. It's got a slot cutter. Every possible bit that you can think of is in this case here. The downside to it, I really love the way they have the foam here and the way these are set up in an upward position. The reason this is missing is because it's on my router, and that's called a Roman augie. And so that leaves that same cut that I just showed you on the edges of my cross. And so I use my great DEWALT cordless router, which is this. And I have the flex volt will work with these as well. This is a brushless. It's a 20 volt. And the model number for this one is DCW600 compact router. I'm telling you right now, guys, if you don't own one of these, buy one. If your Valentine's is coming and your wife asks you, babe, what do you want? $119 without the it's a bare tool. And if you want the kit with the charger and all that, I think it's like $149.99 at Home Depot. And so I'm going to put these tools on the description below the video. All I ask is if you don't like the video, comment down below and tell me why. You know, I am an amateur on YouTube. I am not detailed, or I don't go and edit my videos. I would love to know how to do that. Unfortunately, I am not computer savvy. I used to be. In fact, I went to college at Howard here in Big Spring, Texas, and took computer science. And back then, I learned how to work MS-DOS. I learned to work Excel, Microsoft Office, PowerPoint, Access. Those ain't even exist anymore except Microsoft Office. And so anyways, back then we had to program the formulas to tell Excel, you know, how to add boxes A1 through D4 or something like that, you know. And now you just pretty much go down and look for the formulas in a dialog box that's in your computer, and you're able to do those functions within a split second. And so anyways, I just wanted to share this video with you guys. Again, the reason I put Frogger tape on my wood is to keep the wood from chipping. When you're making your cuts, it leaves a fine cut. And after I do all that, I get some 120 grit sandpaper and I just sand the edges. And then I am going to add my clear. My wife wanted a two-tone, so I'm just going to put some polyurethane clear on the edges, and I will be done. Let me show you what it looks like after I'm done. And for the record, guys, I just want to let you know that I'm being made to do this. It's freezing cold out here, and I have to do this in 20 below zero weather, and I'm freezing. Look at my hands. They're almost frozen. Just kidding. So anyways, let me show you. This is how ugly it looks. See that? Wait till I pull off the tape. Alright, so it is really cold out here, guys. We're in West Texas and we got hit by the Arctic, whatever the weatherman was calling it. So, look at that. That is so cool. So, now, if you look right here, I left all the top parts. I didn't leave the bottom one on this one. But this is what it looks like. See the odd shape that I made on this? Now you see the edges? I'm just going to get that 120 sandpaper and do a light sand. And then I'm going to apply my polyurethane clear. And that's it. So next, I am fixing to give me a piece of cardboard. And I'm going to stick it here on the floor so my wife don't kill me. And I used a foam brush. So it looks just like these. So the reason I get the small one is because I'm working with a small cross. Again, if you look at this, see how small those grooves are? So this one here is like an inch foam brush. And so if you just get this, that's going to be almost perfect. So that way I can go this way, that way, up, down, all around. You want to do it in various coats. Now normally what I'll do is I will apply, after I'm done sanding, I'm almost done sanding. Once I finish sanding, then I'll clean it off really, really good. And then I'll apply one coat of the polyurethane clear. This is a clear gloss. And before I apply it, I am going to cover my facing because that's already got gloss on there, and I don't want to apply gloss on something that's already been glossed, simply because it's just you don't want to make it what's the word I'm looking for, because we use a different type of clear on this. It was a natural solvent that we used. I can't remember exactly the name of it right now, but we did that, and you had to apply like 10 coats, literally 10 coats, and it took about 4 days. And the reason we did it so many times is because since this is going to have plants, water is going to be falling on top of it, and you don't want it to leave the little rings from the calcium deposit on your water, because here in our hometown we have very bad calcium deposit and mineral deposits in our water, and so our faucets and stuff, they turn white. And so the same thing would happen on these beautiful wooden plates. And so in order to prevent that, we put that many coats, and then whenever my wife or I water the plants and we just wipe it down, you can't even tell that there was anything sitting on top of it. That's how great this God, I wish I could remember the name of it. But anyways, once I think of the name that we used, it was a natural solvent that we used. The downside is it takes 24 hours for it to dry, so you do one coat, let it dry, sand it, apply another coat, let it dry, sand it. Same thing is used for applying polyurethane on it. The reason you want to sand it is just if you want to make it look like a mirror, then you just keep sanding, applying, sand, apply, sand, apply. And once you're done to your pleasing, then that's when you stop and go from there. So anyways, guys, let me cut me a piece of cardboard. I'm just going to lay it here on the floor and put one coat on there and go from there. Okay, so I have now applied the polyurethane clear on its sides, so it almost blends in perfect. And we'll let that dry, give it a light sand, and do it again. until I get the results that I want, and that's it. Again, if you don't like the video, give me a thumbs down, okay? Because I want you to be honest with me, okay? Let me know why you didn't like my video. Was my hair too gray? Was my voice too Texan for a Mexican? Hey, that rhymed. Or simply you just didn't like me at all. Just let me know. Also, if you did like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Share the video. Share the love. And especially in these times right now, guys, enjoy your family time together. Love your wife, love your kids, love your mom and dad, because you only have one mom and you only have one dad. And I strongly urge you to share love with everyone that you know, because you never know. Just yesterday, there was a 50-car pileup in Fort Worth, Texas, and so many people were killed. And it's just, you just never know. My heart goes out to those families, as it does with all of you guys that like my videos and subscribe to them. Please, please, please share my videos on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, you name it, wherever you want, guys. I just want to be able to share my knowledge, wisdom to the people out there, people that don't have the money to hire a carpenter or whatnot. Do something that's worth it. Today, and I'm not saying this to receive any glory, but I went around and I bought a few bags of rock salt, and I went and applied it at some elderly people's homes for no charge at all, simply because it's the right thing to do. And I know a couple of people that are old and they can't walk, they're on a walker, and you just do the good things for people, be a good Samaritan, and share your knowledge with people and let them know that you love them and you think about them, because like I said, you never know when this is your last breath. God bless you. We love you. Protect yourself and others, and have a great weekend. Stay warm. God bless. Bye-bye.